I think my students are often surprised to learn that I very seldom, if ever, use a black paint straight out of the tube. Instead, I prefer to mix different pigment-rich colors together to create a very, very dark color, which very closely approximates a black that you might see out of the tube. However, my version often has more pigment to it, and so I feel like it's visually a little more interesting. There's more subtlety to it, and it allows me to manipulate by adding a little bit more of one color or another in order to get it exactly the kind of black that I want. To achieve that, I often mix a dark, dark blue plus a dark, dark brown. And for my blue options, I usually choose either French ultramarine or I will do a Prussian blue. For the browns that I'll combine, it would be either a raw umber or a burnt umber. And then I will mix one of those blues plus one of those browns thoroughly until I get the balance of blue to brown that I feel like most closely looks like black. And then I can add some white to it if I'd like, and I can take it down to make it more like a gray. And I can add white and white and white and white until it becomes a very, very, very light gray. So I'm going to demonstrate for you a bit so you can see kind of how that transformation happens, that combination of the blue plus the brown, and then adding the white for gray. So I've squirted out some blobs of raw umber here, and I'm going to start by mixing them with either ultramarine or Prussian, and we'll see what kind of black results. So I'm going to scoop up a little of the raw umber, scoop up some of the ultramarine, mix those together. You can see we're getting a nice black with some good coverage. I'm going to take the raw umber and I'm going to mix it with Prussian blue. And again, we're getting a nice, deep, rich black color. Looks pretty similar to the first one, both good and dark. And I'm going to mix burnt umber plus ultramarine. So again, we have another good dark pigment-rich brown plus a good dark pigment-rich blue. And we're getting another blackish color. If I feel it's a little bit too brown, I can add a little more blue. You can always just play with it and do this like back and forth until you get the balance of brown and blue that suits you. And then mixing the burnt umber plus Prussian. Again, we're going to get a nice balance there. Nice, good, dark black color. Then if we want to make gray, we can take some white, and I'm going to mix some white in with each of these to make a gray so you can see the different kinds of grays that we can make. Here's the first one. This is raw umber plus ultramarine. If we want to make it darker, we simply pick up more of that black kind of color and mix it in, and we can make a darker gray. If we take this black here, mix it with a little bit of white, we get another gray. Pick up some white for this one here. So the great thing about this is really that you can play with these ratios. Add a little more brown, add a little more blue, add a little more white, add some more black if you feel you need to, that mixed up black color. And you can just play with it until you get whatever color it is that's going to work best for your painting. It's worth noting that by combining complementary colors, that is opposite colors on the color wheel, such as blue and orange, yellow and purple, or red and green, you will get a dark color that somewhat approximates the look of black. I feel that oftentimes that leans more toward a dark brownish color than a true black, but that's really an option that you could consider. For my purposes though, usually I'm looking for a color like one of these in this column here, and so combining the dark blue plus the dark brown, that really gives me the surefire way to get the color that I'm looking to achieve. So if you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comments below. And I hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching.